Morning Tato, morning everyone. It's so good to see the hall absolutely full with pupils from 9 different contributing schools in the wider Kerikeri area, and also of course some of our junior students too. Now I just want to hand over to one of our science teachers, Ms. Lummis, who has actually organised this very, very special event for us.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much everyone for coming today. Our biggest thank you of course is going to be to Nanogirl. I don't know, hands up, has anyone seen Nanogirl before? Only a few, okay, because she does a show around New Zealand and it is incredible. There are lights and big televisions and it's like on a much grander scale than what you're going to see today. But what you're going to see today is the magic that is science. So, what we will do with no further ado is to welcome Nanogirl up on the stage so that you can enjoy the presentation. Enjoy everyone.
Thank you, Mrs. Lummis. Kia ora koutou. How are we this morning? Good? Awesome. So, my name is Nanogirl and I am an engineer. Now, who can tell me what they think I do for a living? Yep.
Engineers make machines and fix machines.
Engineers make and fix machines. Awesome. What else do we do? In the very back?
Fix cars.
We fix cars. Yes, we do. We can also do some fixing of cars. What else might we do?
Blow stuff up.
Blow stuff up. The most fun answer. Yes. So engineers and scientists, we all come from the same field, and what we do is we learn, we discover, we blow stuff up, we make machinery, we design, and we fix things. And so using the power of science, since I was little, I've always wanted to be a superhero. So using the power of science and learning through this whole journey, I've decided to engineer some superpowers. Who wants to join me in engineering some superpowers today? Fantastic. So we're going to use lots of helpers throughout the show. So when I come and ask, put your hands up and we will get going. So the first one needs 3 people that can blow up a balloon and tie it. Right. I will come through and pick some. Right, everybody give them a round of applause. Come on up, come to the front. So, what are our names? Come this way. What's your name?
Kyle.
Kyle? Say hello, Kyle. What's your name?
Chloe.
Chloe and
Ariana.
Ariana. So we've got Kyle, Chloe and Ariana. Here is your balloon. And please blow it up and tie it for me, and I will do the same. Alright, so we've all got our balloons nicely blown up and tied, and I'm then going to pass you your next piece of equipment. This lovely, sharp, pointy skewer. Now, when we do science experiments, we first come up with a hypothesis. Who can tell me what a hypothesis is? The back. Guess what's going to happen? Correct. So we make an educated guess of what we think and what we expect will happen. So, for today's experiment, I would like you to please put your skewer through the widest part of your balloon from one side to the other. What is your hypothesis? What do you think will happen? You can shout it out. What do you think will happen if we put the skewer from the widest part of the balloon to the other? Alright, so keep that in mind, that is your hypothesis. And we're going to try this experiment once at a time. So Kyle, what is your hypothesis?
I think it will pop.
You think it will pop? Alright, do you want to test your balloon in your experiment for us? Test your hypothesis. Alright. We've got our first one and it did pop, didn't it? Alright, Chloe, do you want to test your hypothesis? What do you think will happen? It'll pop? Alright. Do you want to show us? Ooh, that was quite a pop. Alright, and then, do you want to test yours, Ariana? What do you think will happen? You think it'll pop? Alright, so before we do the final one, let's have a close look at the balloon. Now, all the others popped, and so what this experiment is about is how things break. So when we blow up the balloon and look at it, it's a nice bright blue, but it's not the same colour all the way around. So if we look at one side, we see how it's a little darker circle. Is yours the same, Ariana, at the top?
Yeah.
Got a nice little darker spot. And over the other end is a dark wrinkly bottom. So what's happened is that those areas are not as stretched. Things break because there's enough force on them to make them break. So here where it's all stretched, there's lots of force pulling on the balloon. But on these other sides, there's not as much force. So, if you will do the honours with me, Ariana, if you grab your skewer and you go through the wrinkly bottom very carefully, where there's not as much force, sometimes we can get the skewer to go through the balloon. Is yours going through as well? Awesome. And then if you're careful with the other side, aim it for the other part that doesn't have as much force. Sometimes you can get it all the way through. Sometimes. Sorry. How's yours going? Nice. Can you help me let me show everybody? Awesome. Good job. And so we're thinking about how things work and how things break. We can change our hypothesis so that we can go sometimes it won't pop. Awesome. Everybody give them a round of applause. Thank you. Alright, so before I go further, we've looked at what engineers do and how we do scientific experiments to consider things, but do you think I look like an engineer? No. Got some no's, got some yeses? Who says no? Alright, how come? What do you think I'm missing? Why do I not look like an engineer? Because I've got no tools? I've got some tools somewhere on the stage. What else am I missing?
You're wearing casual day wear.
I'm wearing casual day wear. Alright, so as I mentioned before, with engineering, there's all sorts of styles of engineering. And lots of what I'll do day to day can be in product design, it can be in research, and actually turning up to the office in just a t-shirt and jeans is completely okay. But sometimes when we're doing other experiments that will use chemicals or might hurt or damage some property in some way, we wear protective equipment. So, has anybody seen one of these before? Alright, so if I pop this on, I look like an engineer or a scientist who's ready to do some more experiments. Alright, but we don't always need to wear these. Okay, so moving to our next experiment, I need 4 people good at building things. What's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan?
Kate.
Cameron?
Alyssa.
Alright, so I'm going to pass you a cup. And can you please tell everybody in the hall what you see inside your cup? What do you see in there?
Toothpick.
Toothpick? What else? some string, and a paper towel. Anything else about the cup? Do you think it's a good cup? It's got a hole in the bottom. It's got a cup with a hole in the bottom. Do you think that's a good cup? No? Yes? So, sometimes, there we go. So that's the key. When we design things, we design them for a purpose. So a cup with a hole in it is probably not very good for the purpose of drinking out of, because all your water is going to come out the bottom. But if we're going to redesign this today, and we're going to engineer something else. So that hole might be quite useful. So if you please turn your cups over for me and grab the string. We're going to thread the string through the hole. And just pull it through. And what you should end up is the cup on the string like this. So you can feel free to put the other things down if you like. It helps. Yep, just like that. So we're going to get all the cups like this. All right. Once you have your cup like this, on the back end, I'd like you to tie the little toothpick in a knot there. Because at the moment, if we were to pull the string, it would come right the way through. So, by tying the stick onto the top end of it, we're creating a brace. I'm going to tie a knot, and then should be able to pull the string right through, and the brace will stop it coming all the way through. Right. Now, can you all take a look inside that cup for me and tell me if you see anything else? Some string. You do. You're going to take a good hard look from up there and tell me if you see a chicken inside. Yeah, you do. A big feathery white bird in there. Or a brown bird. You see a towel? Okay, so at the moment we have a cup with some string in it and a brace. It looks a little bit like a bell, doesn't it? So, if you can grab your string for me and rub your finger along it, do you hear a sound? A little bit? Okay, it's not very loud though, is it? It's quite smooth to go through. So I'm going to ask you now to grab that paper towel you had in there. Fold it 2 or 3 times like this. We're going to have a little bowl of water and we're going to dab the corner of the paper towels in here and give it a good squeeze so it makes it nice and damp. So I'm going to pop that in there. Yeah, give it a good squeeze, squeeze all that water out. Awesome. Yeah, give it a good squeeze. Last one. Yeah, we'll give it a good squeeze. Awesome. So now with these damp paper towels, you have to hold your cup like this. I'm going to put one for here. Hold your cup like this. You're going to wrap the paper towel around the string so you can grab it. And then, if you give it a little tug, you should be able to hear a little chicken. Alright, you want to turn around and give everybody a chicken noise? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Sometimes things aren't what we always expect. Who can tell me how sound works? Okay, up there? Beautiful. So if you're talking, it knocks the particles in the air to make the waves. So we call that vibration, sound vibrations that create the waves. So when you're just using it along the string, when you're rubbing it, you're making little tiny vibrations in the air. And then when we change the friction of it by putting the wet paper towel around the side, you make those vibrations a little bit stronger, and then this bell here helps to amplify the sound. You can achieve the same thing by using the paper towel outside of the bell, but it's quite quiet. But as soon as you put it into the cup, it acts exactly like an amplifier, and you get nice little chickens. So there you go, that is how you can repurpose things and engineer. Okay, so for my next one, I'm going to need somebody that is quite brave. The girl in the corridor in the hallway just down here. Come on up. Alright, what's your name?
Saffron.
Saffron, okay. So Saffron, come stand beside me. Here I have a cup. If I put some water inside and then turn it upside down, what's your hypothesis? What do you think will happen?
It's gonna pour all over me.
It's going to pour all over you. What if I did it over here?
Or land on the floor.
Land on the floor. Alright, so we all agree that our hypothesis is if we put water in here and we turn it upside down, water will fall out. Do you know why the water might fall out? Anyone know any ideas? Gravity. Okay. So, not all things that go upside down have the contents fall out. Who's seen a roller coaster or been on one? Alright, and have you seen the loop-de-loop? And the roller coaster goes upside down in the loop-de-loop. Do the people fall out? No? We hope not. Yes. So, when a roller coaster goes upside down in the loop-de-loop, what it's experiencing is, does anybody know what it's called? Gravitational force, nearly. Yes, so when it's spinning around, it creates a gravitational force within it. That's called centripetal force. So it goes upside down, there's centripetal force holding it back towards the centre of the loop-de-loop. So what we're going to do is try and recreate that centripetal force to keep the water inside the cup. Are you ready, Saffron? Okay, so here we've engineered ourselves a mini roller coaster with a dog leash and a tray. So, Saffron, do you want to put your left hand out for me, please? Put this through your wrist, and you're going to hold it for me. Alright, so come take a step over here. You're going to hold this out. I'm going to swing it gently side to side and get a feel for the weight. And then when you're ready, you're going to build it up and you're going to go right round in a loop-de-loop and do that 3 times, alright? You're going to do it hard enough that we start to make some centripetal force. So just when you're ready, go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Good, slow down. Alright, so, should we try that one more time? Okay. So when we're doing that and it goes right around the loop-de-loop, get a feel for the weight. There's a centripetal force pulling along the leash back to the centre of the circle. So if we do it hard enough, it should keep everything in there. Beautiful control. Okay, so, are we ready for the cup? Okay. Alright, so you're going to hold it up for me. I'm going to put the cup in here. With some water. Are you ready, Saffron? So let's do it exactly the same as before. Gentle, gentle, you get a feel for the weight. It won't fall if you trust in the centripetal force. Alright, so let it slowly build up, just like before. Let us know when you're ready. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Lovely! Alright, and can you pull that glass off for me just to prove it's not stuck down? All time. Everybody give her one more round of applause. That was awesome. So that is one of the superpowers of overcoming gravity. Now, for the next one, I need somebody who's very good at balancing things on their head, and another person who's got very strong lungs. Alright, gonna come on down again. What's your name?
Ollie.
Ollie and?
Ryan.
Ollie and Ryan. Okay, who's going to be the balancer? Who wants to balance things on their head? Alright, Ollie, come stand over here. I'm going to put a cup on your head. We're going to balance that like a champ. Alright, Ryan, I want you to stand 2 more steps back. Another step. Ready? And you're going to try and blow the cup of Ollie's head. Are you ready? Okay, big breath in. Ryan is a professional, he just has to think about it and it happened. Okay, let's try that again. Are people making you laugh? Does that mean you're not a very good balancer? No, you're going to be a professional. Okay, find your zen. Okay, Ryan, are you ready? So big breath in. 1, 2, 3, blow. Try it again. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Ryan might need a little bit of extra help. So everybody, on through, we're going to blow this cup off his head. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Really? Was that you? Was you laughing again? And blow it off. Did you feel it? Okay, so that was a lot of power. Everybody had to blow in there. And who's gone out on a windy day and nearly been blown over? Alright, so that wind is a lot stronger, has a lot more power behind it, and is faster. So, what we can do is engineer something a little bit more fun to do that with. We call this bring some of the air calm, that's where it is. Alright, you're going to stand for one a little bit then, go forward the stage. Alright, this is an air zuka. And what it does is it has a bungee cord in there that pushes the air out. Here we go. Fast. Alright, Ryan, should we give this a go? Okay, so Ollie, you want to take a step to your left? And another step. Cool. Alright, so let's aim that. Gonna pull back and release it. 3, 2, 1. Oh, good. Alright, hold on. Nice shot. Is that it's invisible. So, if we want to see how this works, what can we put inside that will help us see it? Smoke, powder, smoke. Alright, so let's put some smoke in this to see how the air moves, because there's something quite fascinating about how the air comes out. And here at Nanogirl, we like to build things, and we like to build things bigger because that's more fun. So, here's our little Azuka, but we decided to make something just a little bit bigger. Alright, so let's put some smoke inside and then we can talk about how it works. We're going to do a little bit of quick engineering. We've got a bungee cord that has come out. I'm not sure if I can get that back through. But what I can do is show you how it moves with the same smaller Azuka before. And do we want to see if someone... do you want to come or do you want to try and fix this in the time so we can see a big version? Here we go. This is Joe from Nanogirl Large. Everybody want to give a round of applause? Okay, so let's put smoke in this Azuka. Right, we'll do the same thing. Now have a close look at what comes out. 3, 2, 1. I should try a little bit bigger, maybe you can see it a bit easier. Okay. Vortex or smoke water seed. Can I get you to hold this for me? So how that happens is we've built this out of a usual 60 litre bin, I think. On one side, we have a bit of fabric, a doorknob and some bungee cord. And the secret is on this end where we have the circle at the front. So we cut this so that it's smaller than the width of the barrel. So when you pull the bungee cord back and let it go, it pushes the air out really fast. So all of that air comes through the middle super fast, but all the air going along the side gets trapped on this lip here, so it needs to curl under to get out. And then what that does is it makes it start to spin. And spinning things, as you might know, are very stable. Think of your bicycle wheel when you're riding, it's going very fast, it's nice and stable, and you stop and go slow and it all wobbles. So spinning things are very stable, which is what makes that smoke ring travel all the way to the back. We even saw it with the little one, and who felt it down here? When we shot it and it went poof. So that is how you create this air vortex. Do you want to see a few more? Yeah. Super air and defy gravity, but what else can we do? Who here is super strong? Let's have the girl in the face here. Hello, what's your name? Courtney. Courtney. Good morning, Courtney. Alright, so we're going to step around to this other side of the table here. And okay, now, do we recognise what this is? A can. It's a can. What do we think this is made out of? Aluminium. So it's a nice thin metal. So what we're going to do is by using the power of pressure, we are going to crush this can. So, first of all, when we're going to do a science experiment like this, we need some safety gear. So do you want to pop those gloves on for me? Right, and I will do the same. go, and some safety glasses as well. So, does anybody know about, has heard of pressure before? Okay, so right now we're all sitting in this room and we've got air pressure touching our skin, atmospheric pressure. What we're going to do is try and make that atmospheric pressure greater than the pressure inside the can and see if we can crush it. Okay, so do you want to hold these tongs for me? Thank you. Just like that's perfect. And we're going to put the can inside here. Or turn the can the other way, yeah. So we're going to hold it over this flame. So there's going to be a flame and hold it nice and close. And then go fire, fire, fire. And then, when I count down 3, 2, 1, you're going to turn it upside down into this bowl of water like that and have it sealed. Okay, so let's have a practice. So come a little bit closer. Fire, fire, fire. 3, 2, 1. Just like that. One more time, we'll try a little bit faster. Ready? So fire, fire, fire. 3, 2, 1, go. Awesome. Okay. So what we're going to do is, before we start heating this up, we're going to put a little bit of water inside the can. About a teaspoon. Alright, so ready? Turn that on, and we're going to heat it up. Now, what state of matter is water? Yeah. What do we think water is? Is it a solid, liquid, or a gas? Liquid, okay. When we heat water up, what does it do? Boils and it changes to gas. And so we call that water vapour or steam. Now what do we know about gases compared to liquids? Yeah?
Gases are spread out when liquids are tied together.
They are spread out. So as a liquid changes to a gas, that's perfect. It's going to heat up and it's going to expand. So all of that steam and water vapour, we can see a little bit now, nice and close, is going to heat up, turn into water vapour, and it's going to expand and fill up the can. So as it's doing that, it's going to push all the air from the inside out of the can. So when we see lots and lots of steam coming out, we know that it's pushing all of the air out. What we hope, and what our hypothesis is that if we can push all of the air out, we'll have a nice low pressure inside of the can. And then when we turn it over and seal it, it's going to cool down, it's going to go from a gas back to a liquid, and it's going to shrink down. And hopefully, that'll be strong enough, if it's sealed, to shrink, to crush the can. Alright, now have we seen some steam come out of there? Yeah. Do you feel like it's boiling? It's nice and warm? You scared? Alright, so there's a little bit of steam. Just let you hold it for just a little bit longer. But I think it's nicely boiling. Okay, so do you feel ready? Yeah. Okay, we're all going to count her down. 3, 2, 1, go! Outside down. Yay! Good job. You want to drop the can in there? And stop. Oh, it's crushed right outside the tongs. There we go. So, just by using the power of air pressure, we've managed to crush a can completely. So that pressure can be really strong because we repeat the same experiment. Rather than with just a small aluminium can, we can do it with a 44-gallon steel drum, those big oil drums. We heat it up with a flamethrower, seal it up, and then the same thing. We just cool it down, and the same pressure touching your skin right now is enough to completely crush hard metal. Alright, so for the next one, we've got some super strength, we've got some super air. Define gravity, what else could we do? What do superheroes usually do? Fly. I love that you all know straight away. So, who would like to come for a fly or hold up balloons? Take somebody so nice and quietly. Let's go for the one just there. Yeah, you. Come on. All right. What is your name?
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Okay. So, Jimmy, You can, Jim, show us. That's pretty good flying, but I feel like we're still on the stage. Still on the stage? Ready? No, I'm still here. Did you fly away? No? Okay. So, how do birds fly, Jimmy?
Wings.
Their wings. Okay, what's special about their wings?
That they can flap them and fly.
I can flap them really fast. Okay, shall we try that and see if we can fly? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Now my sleeves are just coming down instead. Alright, can anybody else here flap their wings and fly and take off? There's a little like puppy flying over here. Oh, people jumping. Alright, so I think as humans, without our wings and without our feathers, we can't really fly, can we? But what we can do is engineer something. So do you want to help me build a super flying machine?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright, so you mentioned they have wings. What those wings can do is trap lots of air underneath it. And what do they have on their wings, Jimmy?
Feathers.
Feathers. Okay, so those feathers help increase the surface area so we can trap more air underneath the wing. So if we look around here, we have a wheel over there. So let's go grab that. And then from this wheel, do you think this is nice and big? Do we have a lot of surface area under here? Okay, so we're going to put this down. But that doesn't look very comfortable. So, do you want to help me, Jimmy? And we'll put this chair in it. So put it in all the little holes. And what we're doing is creating something with more surface area that can trap more air underneath it. So, how are we going to get all of the air underneath this? What can we do? We blow at it? Do you want to help, Jimmy? Is it flying? No, so we're just lifting it up. Okay, so if I got a hairdryer, would that work? No? What else could I use? A leaf blower. Alright, so this is like a super mega hairdryer. Alright, so shall we plug that in? And then, Jimmy, I think you're going to grow up to be a very, very cool scientist. So we're not going to test this with you just yet because we need to save you. So do you want to help? Does everybody want to help us pick a teacher? Okay, so this is us. Come take a seat. And Jimmy has helped me build a super flying machine and we're about to test if it works. So, do you all want to see if our hoverboard that we've built works? Okay, will you count us down? 3, 2, 1. Engineer things. We can design, we can do scientific experiments and make our hypothesis first and then test it and learn the theory. But I'd like to share with you my superpower. Can anybody guess what Nanogirl's superpower is? Science? I use science to do something. What do you think I might do? Yeah, but look up here. Fire. Right, well we do like to explode things and we do like fire. So, my superpower is holding fire. So to do this, I have to use the power of water. Now who can tell me what this is? Dishwashing liquid. What do we love about dishwashing liquid? It makes bubbles. So if I pour lots and lots into here, to make a nice soapy solution. Now the thing is with bubbles, when we blow them up, what do we fill them with? Air? What's in our air? What do you think's inside that bubble? Air? Carbon dioxide. So the air that comes out of our lungs is usually made up of carbon dioxide. Do we think carbon dioxide is flammable or not? Do you think carbon dioxide is flammable? So if we were to light one of these bubbles up, do you think it would explode or do anything? No? Yes? So that's a hypothesis. And what I can do is to test if carbon dioxide is flammable. If it was, I'd be able to breathe fire. Did that explode? No. So from that we can tell that carbon dioxide is not flammable. However, if I do have a flammable gas and put that into the bubble solution, I get these flammable bubbles. Alright, so I'm going to put my safety specs on. Before I pick these up, I'm going to put my hand in this clean, cold water. So water is quite special because it has a very high specific heat capacity. That means it uses a lot of energy to soak up heat before it actually gets hot. It takes a lot of energy to heat up, rather. So if I have a nice layer of water on my hand, and then I scoop up these bubbles, what I can do is then this. Ready? Are you ready? And I'm not burnt. That's completely safe for me to do because I'm a real life scientist, I'm a real life engineer, and we've been doing science for a long time. So I've got that lovely layer of water to protect my hand before I do anything. But do not try this at home. Okay? So, we'll use that layer of water to protect me, and that is my show for today. But do you want to see that just? Thank you for being such a great audience today. Appreciate all the science that you're doing with me, but here we go. This is my superpower. Awesome, so thank you so much everybody. We've got a little bit of time left, I think. Should we take just a few questions? Probably take about 3 or 4. Does anybody have good science questions that they'd like to ask us? Down here. What type of gas was I using? So it's a flammable gas. You can use a whole series of them. Ones that we typically like to use is methane because A, you have to have a special thing to go and get some of it, and it's got a nicer, cooler burn to it. So notice how the flame rises when I'm holding it. It's because as things are hot, they rise, and so all of the energy rises up and I'm protected by that layer of water, and I use a gas that's appropriate for it.
So if you were to use the normal gas that we use for the house, what would that be?
I probably had some very bad burns, and you wouldn't be seeing me around here because you shouldn't try and do it with those gases. So do not try that with your LPG gas at home. Got a patient hand over here? Yeah. How many times a day has it exploded by us or just around the world? By me. So while we are on this tour around New Zealand, we are visiting schools in every single centre. We visit about 3 schools a day. So there's at least that. And then when we do our shows at night, we have explosions and fun things in there. So last night we were at the lovely Regent on Broadway Theatre, and we had, there's like maybe 5 explosions in every show. It's so much fun, and there's 2 shows every night. So if you have friends in other parts of New Zealand that we're going to, tomorrow we're going to Napier, and tell them to come along and come see all the explosions on stage as well. Good question, thank you. Any other sciencey questions? All from this corner, yes. Sorry, didn't quite catch that. What was that? That is a good question. So the question was, when I'm doing the hand on fire one, do we sometimes mix the gases to see how different things burn? Now we don't do that on our hand because that's quite dangerous and we want to look after our hands and our skin. But trying to understand gases is an experiment that we definitely do. So what we like to do is something that we call exploding balloons. So we fill different balloons with different gases to test how combustible or how flammable they are. And you can blow up a balloon, pop it, and it won't really do much because carbon dioxide isn't that flammable. If you fill it up with helium, does anybody know what kind of gas helium is? It's you shout it out if you know what it is. What kind of gas is helium? A noble gas, yes. So helium is a noble gas and it's inert, meaning it doesn't react. So sometimes you can pop that and it might even put the flame out. But if we fill a balloon with hydrogen, then hydrogen is very combustible and it explodes. So you get this huge bang. And then when we mix hydrogen with a little bit of oxygen, that combustion reaction makes the explosion even bigger. It will rock the whole hall. And that's when we mix gases that react in a certain way. So we won't do it on hand, but it is a very good question about how we test. All right, one final question. In the back in the blue. Sorry, a little bit louder, please. How many injuries have we had? I'm not allowed to talk about that. No injuries, because when we do science, we always make sure we have our protective gear on first. So we have our lab coats that protect our clothes. These aren't very flammable. We have our safety glasses. If we're dealing with hot things, we have our safety gloves. And then if we're testing anything new that we're not, we have to do lots of research about it before we'll do any of that to make sure that it's going to be safe. Awesome. So thank you so much again for today and all your lovely questions.
On behalf of Manawatu College and all the primary schools that attended, I'd like to thank you for taking your time and to being here this morning.
Thank you, everybody.
Alright, well I hope that everybody really enjoyed that show. I thought it was fantastic. Thank you so much for coming today. All the schools, the teachers, the effort that you put in. Thank you to Nanogirl for a really cool show and for coming all the way out here to our little town in Foxton. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Napier and he's just going to let everybody know what to do next, okay? So that we make sure that we finish and leave in an orderly fashion. Thank you.
Okay, just listening carefully, can we